The Department of Angels, because recovery requires something that we can build together: capacity, connection, and follow through.
That is Evan Spiegel speaking at a recent art event hosted by a nonprofit he co-founded to help recover from LA's wildfires last year. That's called the Department of Angels. Evan's dad's house in Pacific Palisades burned. That's where he once founded Snapchat. It was one of more than 16,000 structures destroyed by the fires almost exactly a year ago. Evan Spiegel, co-founder and CEO of Snapchat and co-founder of the Department of Angels. Welcome to Story Is for the first time.
Thanks so much for having me on, and great to be here in Los Angeles with you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And this story is so important to us here in Southern California. You are an LA native, as am I. Bring us back to a year ago and what it was like to watch your dad's home, so many of your loved ones' home burn in real time.
It was surreal just how fast it happened. I mean, I remember the day the fire started, I could see it out my office window, and it just looked like a small brush fire, you know, something that of course we could get under control, but within hours it was burning out of control. My wife was picking up the kids from school. We opened our home to our friends and our family who were all evacuating. Of course, our company's headquartered in Santa Monica, so we had a huge number of team members impacted. Unfortunately, we had too much experience with evacuations. We had hundreds of team members in Ukraine that we had to move out with their families when the war broke out. So our team knew what to do. They jumped into action to help SNAP team members and their family members move to safety as quickly as possible. And at a wild turn of events, our office parking lot became the fire camp for firefighters from all over the country. 150 trucks or more came to our office park in Santa Monica to help out, to help the firefighters get the blaze under control. But it just happened so quickly.
But what did the Palisades and what did that house in particular mean to you?
Yeah, well, the Palisades is such a special community. It was such a gift to be able to grow up there. You know, I remember just scootering down all the streets, you know, up to the park to play tennis or hang out with my friends. And, you know, the house where I grew up in was my mom's house, which was just one away from all the homes that burned in the Huntington. I went a day or two later to put out the smoldering, and her backyard was miraculously still standing. My dad's house was the one where we started Snapchat. There were 7 or 8 of us all living there together until my dad kicked us out. He'd had enough of a startup in his house, but has so many special memories, and it was just surreal to see it burn to the ground on TV.
So obviously you've been very successful, and you said, let's do something. You put a letter out that said basically, "Dear Los Angeles," and expressed your love for the city. You donated $5 million of your own money. "Dear Los Angeles, I love you." And you helped to start something called the Department of Angels. There's a lot of people that were trying to do things to help. What makes the Department of Angels special?
Well, it was really born out of a meeting of survivors and people who wanted to help in the couple of days following the fires. We brought everyone together at our office. We were really fortunate. We engaged an organization called After the Fire that specializes in disaster recovery with mega fires like this. And we were just like, we have no idea how to handle something like this. Help us, teach us what to do. So we brought their expertise together with all the Angelinos, community members who were impacted from all across LA. And what was so clear is that survivors really wanted to dig in and help out and lead the recovery, because we think it's so important that survivors are centered in the recovery, but they were totally displaced throughout Los Angeles. They were just trying to get their kids to school, to take care of their families. Mm-hmm. And so we really needed to build the project management infrastructure and the network to support survivors to lead their own recovery. And so it was really from listening to folks who were impacted and wanting to help that we found this opportunity.
And part of the way you listen to survivors is actually ask them questions. And you just commissioned this big survey talking to survivors, and here are some of the results that you found. 7 in 10 are not back in their home. 80% say their mental health is worse than during the fire. 90% of survivors still, though, want to rebuild. What stood out to you from that survey?
Well, I think to me, beyond the numbers, it's the feeling of abandonment that comes through the survey. You hear folks that say, I paid my insurance bill on time every single year for 20 years, and then they pulled my coverage at the last minute. Or I paid my bill for 20 years, and I'm still haggling with the insurance company about, how much money I have to have temporary housing or to start the rebuilding process. I think you just see so much frustration and abandonment. And at the same time, as you mentioned, what's so inspiring to us and what motivates us is how how many people want to return home, want to rebuild, and want the support to do that. The other thing that is just so clear in every single one of these surveys, the #1 source for reliable information and support are other neighbors. And I think that's so clear to us, in terms of the way that we support the recovery and making sure that it's survivor-led, because people trust their neighbors. And all of this chaos and destruction, I think neighborhoods have really come together in such a special way. And by supporting block captains so that every single person who was impacted by the fire has someone on their block that they can get in touch with, that they can get support from, I think it makes a big difference.
You guys have really led the way when it comes to soil testing, and even had a day of the community coming together to do soil testing together. What have you found when it comes to that?
My wife really inspired me to tackle that one, because she said, all my friends are texting me and they're asking, is it safe? Can we return? How close can we be? What happened? Because, all these electronic gadgets and these sorts of things, when they burn, they can put, really toxic chemicals or lead, or, even some of these studies have found chromium-6 nanoparticles, which are incredibly dangerous. So the LA Fire Health Study was designed to bring together, it started out, I think, at about 8 institutions. Now it's far more than that, all collaborating together, whether it's Harvard or USC or UCLA. So many different institutions and scientists have come together over a 10-year period to study not only what's happening right now, but what are the long-term health effects of the fire. And you can find all the latest research on their website, LA Fire Health.
So is it safe?
I think the burn zones have become meaningfully safer. They are safe enough for folks to return at this point. But I think one of the challenges is that soil testing is still not widely available. And so while your specific lot may be safe, something that may have burned in your neighbor's garage down the street might not be. And so I think it's so important for folks to have access to soil testing for their specific lot to understand what harms might be there.
One of the big questions now is over federal funding. We know President Trump, Governor Newsom worked together in the early days. Governor Newsom has asked for $35 billion more in federal funding. He was recently just with you guys at the Department of Angels with Senator Schiff and Senator Padilla and working the other side of the aisle. What's your message to Congress and to the president right now?
Well, first of all, we're incredibly grateful to President Trump for the support that he's shown, for this issue. The fact that he came out here to California at the beginning of his second term to survey the damage, to pledge his support. I think it's time now for Congress to act. And I think, if you look back at President Trump's first term, they allocated $40 billion to Puerto Rico, in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria. So help on this scale is not new. It's something the federal government has been doing for a very long time. And I think whether it's the LA fires, whether it's Texas, North Carolina, folks have dealt with incredible tragedy over the past year, and it is just so important that federal support starts flowing. Because as you know, with the federal government, these things take time, and so it's just so important that Congress acts now to unlock federal dollars to help these folks rebuild, whether it's here in Los Angeles or in Texas or North Carolina.
If we don't get that money, what happens?
I think the road just gets a lot longer. The scale of the damage, LA has been incredibly generous. I think philanthropy has raised more than $1 billion from all over the world, folks who love Los Angeles and want to see it recover, who know how important it is to the American economy, but also to the global economy, and want to help speed along that recovery. But the scale of the damage, more than $100 billion, I think it's going to be very, very difficult for Los Angeles to recover without federal support. And that's what federal support is there for.
Right. Lastly, you just held a gathering recently where you got survivors together and showcased some of their artwork, and you had an opportunity to talk with them as well. What was your big takeaway from that experience? What did you learn?
Well, I think one of the really important things is not forgetting. As time goes on, as the people get a year away from the fires, I think they're not as present for folks, even though people who are survivors, who are still recovering, who are trying to rebuild, are dealing with the reality of it every single day. And so I think for us to honor this 1 year mark as a signpost, to really reflect on how far we've come, how much more we have to do, but also to remind survivors that they're not alone, that we're here for them. And I think that moment and time to grieve together, to remember together and reflect, but also to create and paint a dream for what we can build together moving forward.
Yeah, and it really is inspiring when you feel people's energy and you see their work right there. Congratulations on this work. It's really important, and I've heard from so many people that there are a lot of different organizations stepping up, but yours is one of the best and one of the ones that I think people appreciate the most. So thank you for what you're doing.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks for having me on, and it's time for Congress to act. Thanks.
We'll be back with more. The story is right after this.